It's live stream time, namaste, on Sunday, 25th of July at 7:24 a.m. I've ridden 30 kilometres, it's 15 degrees, and beautiful morning, a bit chilly with the wind factor. So, this morning's topic, are you brave enough to take the self-worth test? I invite you to try, I give you permission to try. And why is the self-worth test important for all of us to take? And what the hell is it? Okay, so there's a misunderstanding when it comes to the law of attraction. And I've spoken about this before, but basically the way that the law of attraction works energetically is like magnets. That we are magnetic energetically, and we attract that which is similar to us, and we repel, or we don't notice, or we don't take any interest in the things that are not similar to us. So based on that, we don't attract what we want, we attract who and what we are. And this is very important because this, in the long run, by observing who and what we are attracting, the type of people and the lessons that we're attracting in our life, we can do an analysis over a long period of time and work out where our level of self-worth is at. However, there is an easier way of doing it. There is a really easy way of doing it, and that's what I'm going to show you this morning. Because this other way of working out our self-worth takes repeated patterns to appear before we notice the sort of people that we're attracting and the sort of situations or lessons that keep recurring. And with the benefit of hindsight, we can then go back and sort of just analyse that, the people and the situations, and see the recurring patterns and realise where our energy can be worked on. Because it's not the patterns, the lessons that we're attracting, it's not the people that we're attracting, it's what we're putting out energetically. It's what we're attracting magnetically is showing us where we're at energetically. So yes, that's the method I've used personally in the past, but it's a bit of a long-winded method to work out our self-worth. However, there is a much simpler method. Now, before I tell you this simple method, why is it important in any case to know where our level of self-worth is? Why is it important to know who and what we're attracting? Well, it's vitally important because our self-worth, how we feel about ourselves, is determining the sort of people and the sort of situations that we're attracting into our life, and is therefore very important if we wish to have a life that is a little bit easier to live and to handle. So rather than going through repeated patterns of dysfunctional relationships and dysfunction with financial dysfunction and business and work-related dysfunction, rather than going through these repeated patterns of dysfunctional situations, we can actually take a shortcut, and yes, this is a shortcut that does work, to find out why they're happening. And then we can go, okay, I know where I'm at, I know what energy I'm putting out, because I'm attracting a certain type of people, certain type of situations, and these are a reflection of me energetically, and I can do something about it. So I developed a little technique a few years ago, quite by accident, personally, in my own journey, that helped me to see where I was at with my level of self-worth. And at any time, I can just apply this, and it's really, really simple. For this to be effective, you need to be in a contemplative, meditative sort of state. In other words, you need to be by yourself, in a peaceful surrounding. You need to be relaxed, done some deep breathing. You need to have brought yourself back to a point of contemplation and be courageous enough to feel the answer, because you're going to ask yourself one simple question. It's not even a question, actually, and thank you for sharing this to the group. I just see a post-it come up there to the group that you've shared it to. Thank you. So, in a state of contemplation, you are going to tell yourself, it's not really a question, but it comes out in that way. You are going to tell yourself one thing, and your ability to accept what you're going to tell yourself will immediately show you where you are energetically on your journey of self-acceptance and self-worth. Sitting quietly by yourself, you are simply going to say to yourself, and repeat after me, you are going to say, I love, accept, and forgive myself. Now, that's all you have to say to yourself. I love, accept, and forgive myself. Now, depending on the level of wounds that you carry will depend on your emotional response to that. Now, I'm talking about being genuine in asking yourself this question and feeling the response. Feel the emotion that comes up from it. Feel if there's a sadness or an anger or a disappointment. Feel the emotional response. This will show you where you are at energetically, because the reasoning behind it is very simple. Our deepest need is love. Our deepest fear is lack of love. And when we're in a state of fear, of feeling that we're not receiving love, we are subconsciously or unconsciously pushing away love, acceptance, and forgiveness. And we are in a state of blame and poverty consciousness thinking, etc. So when we are in a state of self-acceptance, genuine spiritual self-acceptance, we are not coming from an egoistic point. We're coming from the heart knowledge that we are loved, accepted, and forgiven by the universe. So if you can genuinely, holistically say to yourself, I love, accept, and forgive myself, and feel it as a beautiful, happy understanding of the universe, then your level of self-acceptance is healthy. If you say it to yourself, as when I first started doing this to myself years ago, and it brings up a strong emotional response. In my case, I was quite sad, I think, the first time I said it to myself, because I realized that I was holding on to the opposite of that, and that by saying it to myself, I was acknowledging that I hadn't been loving, accepting, and forgiving myself. Now, over time, I added a second part to it. I added a spiritual grounding to it, so that it was less chance of it being egotistical and coming from the false ego, and having a grounding in spirituality. So now, the full extent of what I say is that I love, accept, and forgive myself, knowing I am loved, accepted, and forgiven. So if you are able to say that to yourself and feel that and know the truth of that, then you are in a good point of self-acceptance and spiritual connection. So I invite you to Love, accept, and forgive yourself, knowing that you are loved, accepted, and forgiven. Because universally, spiritually, there is nothing that you can do or say that makes you unlovable in the eyes of the universe. The only person that does that is you to yourself. So, do you have the courage to truly love, accept, and forgive yourself in a holistic spiritual way, knowing that you are loved, accepted, and forgiven? Because that will be an eye-opener, and it will be an energetic opener as well, allowing the energy to flow and allowing you to attract a better quality life, better lessons and better people in there. So thank you for watching. I'll keep it brief today. Hope you have a great Sunday. It's cool, but it's looking good. Remember to live vegan and save lives. I'll speak to you soon. Ahimsa.